Hey guys, Ted Bogert here. Welcome back to Transformation Talk. I love this program and series. It's the brainchild of my co-hostess with the mostest, Donna Morton. We talk every week with somebody whose life has been transformed or is transforming, and we're hoping that their stories and journeys will help you transform too. Today, our special guest is Casey Howell, and she's going to share her journey. Fascinating story, and I have a personal connection to this, so I can't wait to hear more. So welcome, ladies. Good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Good morning.
All right, Donna, take it away. Tell them a little bit about you, and then give us a little inner vibes on
Sure.
transformation talk, and then we'll roll into Casey.
Right now, in my background, there's awesome music playing. You see I'm surrounded by flowers. We have to get in that mindset, in that mood, whether it's at work or at home, the things that calm us, right? It definitely sets your day. So welcome back, everyone. My name is Donna Morton. I am the president of Women of Culture Incorporated, president of Caribbean American Diaspora Alliance, real estate broker of Florida Summer Homes Realty, and mindset coach at Inner Vibes Consultant. And transformation talk is really, we all have a transformation story. So don't think, oh, mine's a little bit, whatever it is that we're dealing with. And especially if we can use that pain, because we all have pain in some way, whether it's an illness, whether it's addiction. And addiction can be in so many things. It could be substance abuse. It can be shoplifting. It can be overeating. It can be gambling, or just could be we can have an addiction also to negative things, to just always being in the negative, the depression, thinking that life is just bad for us and nothing's gonna get better. So we have to watch all of these moods, right? So today our transformation story is gonna blow your mind, and it's one of those again that's not talked about. And so there's that silent pain behind it. And so we welcome you today to Casey Howell, that's going to talk to you about rheumatoid. What is the best way to rheumatoid arthritis?
Yes.
I'm Caribbean, so lots of things that I say may not even the Caribbean will always come out. So the hidden pain behind RA, and we hope that this show will be a blessing to you. Welcome, Casey.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you.
Yeah.
So let's do a little origin story. Tell us a little bit about you. Oh, there you go. Tell us a little bit about you, and then let's figure out your journey. Let's talk about your journey.
So I am a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a registered nurse, and I am also a chronic illness advocate. And so my journey with RA started after having a really, really tough pregnancy with my first child. And I would see symptoms here and there, but eventually it went away, maybe after 6 months. But then after my second child, that was also a very tough pregnancy. And the symptoms seemed to linger longer. And I was like, what is this? What is going on? And even as a registered nurse, I mean, when we were taught about RA and chronic illnesses, it was just like maybe one class. It was not like a whole semester or anything. So I still was pretty much ignorant to the general symptoms of RA and what it would look like. So this was now 2020, and my mom had breast cancer, and she started to decline. And I was on the front line of really helping her and trying to get her the necessary things that she needed. And during that time, I really was not paying much attention to myself. And unfortunately, in 2021, she passed away. So after she passed away, And as you can imagine, now I have two children. Now I just had my daughter, and now my mom passed away, so the stress was extremely high. And I realized that when I was, those little baby onesies, I was trying to like clip them and, clip them and do like fine motor skills. And I realized I wasn't able to do it. And I'm like, what is going on here? My fingers felt numb, they were swollen, and I became very concerned. So I went to my OBGYN and I told her my symptoms, and she said, I think you may have an autoimmune disease, but let me do some tests. And of course, nobody wants to hear that. So I did go ahead and do the tests, and they came back with the so when you have symptoms of RA, they test you for a rheumatoid factor, and mine was a little bit off, but most of my labs were still normal. And up until pregnancy and up until having these experiences, pretty much I lived my life healthy. There was nothing going on. And so everything seemed so strange to me. And so I eventually saw a specialist. And once again, the lab work was pretty normal. And so I was so confused. So she, which is a doctor, the rheumatologist, she went ahead and she ordered like MRIs and X-rays. And that was when we found that there was damage happening to the joints. And it would seem like the results made it seem like I was in like a car accident or something, because of the damage that was happening to my wrists, my ankles, my knees, my fingers. And it was pretty surprising to me. And so she officially diagnosed me with rheumatoid arthritis after that. So I thought that, okay, great, we have a diagnosis. She's going to put me on medicine and I'm going to start feeling better. And that was not the case. I was put on medicine, and by 2022, I was pretty much bedbound. I was in the bed. I could not move. I was very sick. I had fatigue. I had brain fog. I had pain all over. I had nausea. I felt like, honestly, this was the end, And
how do you manage that with small children?
Yes, and that was difficult too, because being a mom, thankfully I had my husband. He had to take over, and I realized like I needed a lot of support. We had to invest in a nanny, and that's expensive. And so I felt like my world was crashing down. And here comes the mom guilt, where I feel like, oh no, I'm a mom. I'm stuck in the bed here. My kids want to play. I can't play with them. And there's no explaining what is really going on because they're so young. And so this is now 2022. And for months, I kept on going to the doctor. I said that, okay, this medicine is not working. So she switched to another medicine. And quickly, I found out that the medication will help to reduce damage to your joints, but it's not going to help you with fatigue. It's not going to help you with brain fog. It's not going to help you with all the other things that came along with having RA. And so I started to turn to research. So I started to try IV vitamins. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the IV infusion places.
Sure.
Yes. So I started to go there, and that would help me for a few days. I started to change my diet. So I started the elimination diet, so I could figure out what was like, what I was sensitive to, because RA is it's a disease that causes a lot of inflammation. So you would like to keep the inflammation down in your body.
Did you find a food or foods that would make it worse when you were doing the elimination diet?
Yes, I did. Gluten, definitely. Gluten was a big culprit for me. Anything that had like a lot of sugar, especially refined sugar. and cashews, and I really like cashews, and I never thought that would have been something. Yeah, so cashews for me. And so it's important to also note that everybody has different sensitivities, so it's important for you to, you do it yourself and figure it out. And so anyways, so I was here finding these things and doing this, but I started to feel alone. I felt like nobody really understood. I felt like talking to people was pretty pointless at this point, because a lot of people still don't understand. Once they hear the arthritis, they're like, oh, but you're so young, because everybody thinks that arthritis is just like an old people disease. Mm-hmm. And I had to explain to them that no, this is a different type of arthritis. This is a chronic illness, and it involves your immune system actually attacking your own body, and it can happen to anybody. Some you have juvenile, rheumatoid arthritis, and eventually that became tiring also, because here I am going through all of this, and now I feel like I have to be explaining myself to people. I couldn't attend events that I wanted to attend. I had to be canceling with friends and family, and eventually I remember coming to this dark place where I just felt like, God, like, why is this happening? And if I have to live like this is not thriving as a person. So what's the point of living? So I really got to that dark place. And my husband heard me say this, and that is like it's a big difference than who I am or who he knows me to be. And so he went ahead and he did some research, and he found an RA coach, which I didn't know existed. And he connected me with her, and that was when the transformation started. So her business is RA Warrior Fitness, and she was also diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and she became a bodybuilder, and she started this coaching program.
Wow.
Yeah. So just seeing her story inspired me. I'm like, okay, if she was living with RA and she became a bodybuilder and now she has a coaching program, this is not the end for me. Mm-hmm. And it was like a light in the darkness for me. And
I'm fascinated by this, because you don't think of anything related to a specific illness that there could be a coach out there. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's the first time I'd ever heard that before. You hear health coaches, fitness coaches, but a specific chronic illness or illness coach, brand new. So what was it about her that transformed you, or what was it about those discussions that transformed you, so that now, and you all can follow it across the bottom there, now you're a coach? I mean, I love this. I've never heard this before.
Yes. So before meeting her, I did not know anything like this existed. So I just felt like it was like I guess God's way of giving me hope. So when I spoke to her, first of all, she was very empathetic, because she also understood my symptoms. And so her thing was faith, food, and fitness. So she started off with my my belief system. And she, taught me about self-sabotaging beliefs. And as far as the food, she put me on an anti-inflammatory diet. And she pretty much gave me a meal plan. Fitness, I also had a fitness routine. For the first couple weeks of the program, I was in no shape to really do any of those things. But she provided support. She provided one-on-one time with me, and just talking to somebody who understood me helped me to get into a better place mentally, where I felt empowered to say to myself, no, you can get up, you can do this. And I just found myself like, okay, let me not say push, but I found myself empowered to get up and start looking at daily affirmations. And from the daily affirmations, I would let her know that these workouts that you're giving me, they don't really fit right now because I just can't. And she switched and she gave me workouts that you can actually do when you're lying down in the bed.
Nice.
Yes.
Because people don't, my wife, I don't know if I said it live or not, but my wife suffers from RA. And what people don't understand is that the pain is from the tip of your head to the tip of your toes, top of your head. And to be able to do anything, you already don't even feel like getting out of bed or the chair, wherever you happen to be. So to actually do some sort of fitness, I love the fact that she catered it to that.
Right.
Because to me, the rest, it's like setting you up for failure. If you're in so much pain, you can barely move. How are you going to get up and do some of the exercises? So kudos to her for that.
Yes, exactly. And started off doing exercises in the bed. And once again, that was also something that I had to work on in my mind, because before then I was pretty active. I was a dancer.
Yes.
And now I have to be in the bed doing like exercises, and I'm like, oh my gosh, But I have to say that just working with her and transforming my mind was where everything started.
Yes.
And from just addressing mental, the dark thoughts that I was having, that, oh my gosh, this is the end. I made the decision to say, no, I choose life. I'm choosing to live.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm choosing to live. And each day comes with its own blessings and it comes with its own struggles.
Right.
But there is always tomorrow. And I had to let go of being a perfectionist and trying to be in control. I just had to surrender to the process.
The surrendering's the hardest
Yes.
part, right? I mean, my wife is also a perfectionist. I don't know why she's married. That's a part. Good luck on that. But I know that she thinks she should be a normal, active person.
Yes.
She doesn't. It's very hard to, especially if you're used to being so active. It's very hard to wrap your mind around that. So the mindset, which I know Donna talks about a lot on the show, how important and critical and vital that is to changing, because you could have just laid in bed and that would have been the end of it.
Exactly. Yes.
Ted, I've known Casey now for several years, and before the passing of mom and all of that, and it's I was part of the cancellation, so because she is also part of our nonprofit, and she would text me and she would say, and she would explain to me what's going on, because it is different when we see someone very active, like she said, she was a dancer doing all these things, and all of a sudden you see like, no, I'm not feeling well. So definitely that process I was a part of, to see and the encouragement, but to see how she also took to researching for her own transformation. Sometimes, like we tell people, you got to participate. And even though she was feeling down and low and painful, and we're just really understanding, because at the time also she was not saying this right out loud. So there is going to be a time that people will just keep things quiet, and only the immediate household or family may know, but they're still hurting that pain. So I'm so happy to see her, because she would text me and just say, I'm not feeling well, and I would like, well, you can come on Zoom, for our meetings and just be present, have to say anything. And to see her tell me, oh, I'm doing this, and oh, I'm doing this now, and I'm researching, I was like, oh my God, look at this transformation. Casey reminds me, she's like a daughter to me. So it's always been like, personal to see her win. And we talk about mindset, and you see the will, you see the mindset touch, kick in, because it's kind of like you're at a crossroad, and you could easily say, give up. And if you don't have that support system to say, keep going, talking to yourself. So God bless you Casey, and your husband.
Yes, yes. Oh,
That's
yes.
the thing. The support system is
Mhm.
so incredibly. I think I support Stacy. Now I'm starting to question, but I feel like it's important for people to understand that when you went from this basically laying flat in bed, and now you are a coach. So talk about that, because you have enough energy. Your children are still small. I mean, young children. You have a husband, a family, friends, and you now have a business where you have become and are a coach. So talk about that, because that goes from here to all of this energy. I mean, what a blessing. What a beautiful, beautiful story. So talk about the coaching. Talk about you. You're obviously bringing on new clients, and what's that like for you?
Well, so I started well, yes, I started off searching for a community because I realized that only people who were struggling with what I was struggling with would really understand some of the intricacies of the disease and the process. So to my surprise, I found a community on Instagram. And so I would see them post certain things, and I'm like, wow, I'm going through that. And when I go to my doctor, the doctor is like, well, that happens to 2% of the population. But then on Instagram, it's like, it's a regular thing. And so I decided to start my own Instagram where I self advocate or teach people to self advocate for themselves when it goes to going to the doctor, if they face like medical gaslighting, if the doctor doesn't believe them, what to do. And also, I put some humor in it too. I also make funny videos to laugh at the disease. And from there, felt, I felt good helping other people. And that birthed the desire to coach also. And I said to myself, that my coach is helping me. She inspired me. So I'd like to help somebody else. I like to pay it forward. And currently, I'm in the process of building the business. So it's not complete yet. But my biggest platform and my biggest reach right now is to people on Instagram. So I'll make my posts and people will reach out to me, or I reach out to them, and we'll just support each other. So the pillars of my business are mental health, self-advocacy, nutrition, movement, and also how to find support while you're going through this disease. And the hope is that my coaching will help somebody just like me get up, and believe that they still have life. I still have something to offer, and also help them to find the support that they need. Because for me, just like Donna mentioned, when I was feeling sick and I started to experience this disease, Donna reaching out and saying that, oh, would you like to be a part of this? And would you like to join me with this? Made me question myself. I'm here feeling like I have no value left to give, and here is Donna reaching out saying that, no, I still see value in you. You have a disease, but you still have something to give back to the world. And that really is so important when you're looking for a support system, for to get hope, to get some motivation. And from there,
The community is actually larger than people think. But the support and the realizing you're not alone in it, because if you aren't surrounded by it, you seem like the outcast, the person nobody can understand.
Yes.
And so if you can embrace a community like the one you've been part of and the one that you're creating, it's just such a powerful thing. I'm going to absolutely get my wife to follow you on Instagram.
Yes.
We don't talk enough about this. This is why I love when Donna brings guests on that talk about what I consider these silent battles that people go through. When you have cancer, people get it. When you have had a heart attack, people get it. But when you have a chronic illness that no one can physically see, there's a lot of doubt, which makes you doubt. And so I just think it's a beautiful thing that what you've done, Casey.
And also the pain behind the shame behind searching for pain. there's a stigma also when that person is in pain. And if you go to the hospital or a doctor, it's kind of a, oh, you need medicine again, or, so there's a stigma there.
Lots of stigmas. All right, Casey, what's the best way they can find more about you and engage? And all of my friends who are suffering from chronic illnesses, you should do the research too. It's different for everybody, but it's so nice to see somebody who's out there and supporting. So, Casey, how can they find you?
So the best way to find me is on Instagram, which is KCCASEY_wellness RA coach.
It's amazing. And Donna, how about you?
Sure. They can find me at Inner Vibes Consultant, and that's Vibes with a Z, Facebook and IG, Inner Vibes Consultant.
All right. And y'all can find me at the link tree scrolling across the bottom if you have a transformation story or know someone who you think would inspire and motivate people with their transformative story. Please reach out to Donna or me. We'd love to have you on. Casey, thank you so much for sharing your journey. I absolutely applaud you for getting out of that bed. And now look at you. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. God bless you both. We'll see you